everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about competition and collaboration mindset, and we're going to do this in sections. First, we're going to talk about unhealthy and healthy competition mindset. Then it will be about unhealthy and healthy collaboration mindset. We'll then go into what you need and homeworks to help you out. So let's get into it. Firstly, we're going to talk about unhealthy competition mindset. And this can show itself in a variety of ways, but I'm going to focus on 3 today. And the first one is the ego game. The ego game is the kind of person that plays competitions because they are trying to prove themselves as worthy enough. They're trying to prove that they're better than other people. And this actually comes from wounded behavior because it's just them looking for recognition and connection. Perhaps they didn't get it when they were younger, or maybe in life it's just teared away at them to the point that they now feel like they need to prove that they're better than anyone else in order to feel good enough for themselves. And because of that, this is also a form of self-sabotage because these people are actually looking for connection, but because they're driving with the ego and they can tend to be not always the nicest about it, it actually pushes them further away from people, which just heightens this effect and this feeling, which then makes them even more of the ego game and makes them want to play in that way even more, because every time they get a win, they feel like they finally have got something that they deserved. The second one is comparison syndrome. This also comes from lack but shows itself in a different way, and I'm going to explain it through some business terminology for you today so that it makes it more understandable. Now, in business, there is this thing that we do called competitive analysis. The SWOT analysis is where we have strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and we look at each of these avenues when you're building a business. However, we have now seeped this into our personal lives, especially when it comes to comparison syndrome. What's happening here is you're focusing more on the weaknesses and the threats and acting from those spaces as opposed to looking at the strengths and opportunities too. And because of this, from that lack, you are now comparing yourself to other people because you feel the need to do that in order to be worthy enough to achieve what you want to achieve, or perhaps even to convince yourself that you're not worthy of achieving what you want to achieve. Now I'm going to explain this through the 2 different Nancys playing a board game. So Nancy number 1's playing this board game and she's focusing on the weaknesses and the threats of herself. So her inner language sounds like, I'm not good enough at this game, I shouldn't play, this person's so much better than me, I don't think I'm going to be able to beat them, so there's no point in me even trying. This is the language of Nancy number 1. She is using weaknesses and threats to basically self-sabotage herself and feel like she's lost before she's even started. And then we have Nancy number 2. Now she uses the weaknesses and the threats in a totally different way. In fact, it's subconscious. So she doesn't realize that she actually is feeling very insecure. She masks this with fake confidence or false confidence, which comes out by projecting and making other people feel bad about themselves so that they can feel better about themselves. Now, you'll see this a lot in some competitions where people are this kind of comparison syndrome. They'll actually go and psychologically start saying things to this person about how rubbish they are or how they're going to fail, just so that they feel like they have a better opportunity of them winning. It's because they see them as a threat so much that they actually forget about their moral values, which brings us into the final part of how unhealthy competition mindset can show itself, and that is moral lack. These people don't care who gets in their way. They'll do anything to win, even if it means throwing all their morals and beliefs aside. They're more concerned with winning than they are actually being the best at what they do. They will go above and beyond to even hurt the other people, whether it's physically or psychologically, in order for them to actually get to that winning goal. And this is probably one of the most unhealthy versions of a competition mindset, which can be very dangerous if you let it go too far. This is where they've looked for validation so much so externally that they cannot physically think without it or feel that they're good enough without it. This kind of unhealthy competition mindset, I actually feel for these people because you're so badly wounded that you almost can't see your worth. You can't see that you are enough as you are, and you don't need to prove yourself in any way to be enough as a person. And then we have healthy competition. Healthy competition can show itself through feeling self-full and having integrity. Now, the main differences between this and the unhealthy mindset is that they come from a place of wholeness within themselves, that they aren't seeking external validation, but simply playing to either learn, grow, or even just for the fun of it. And because of this, these people are happy for themselves when they win, but they also clap for others when they win. This version of healthy competition always knows that it's going to go where it wants to go. So it doesn't concern itself too much with where it's currently at. It will be celebratory of others as well as themselves. The second part of healthy competition is self-growth as the goal. These people are more concerned with them being at the best at what they do as opposed to looking at somebody else. They are me versus the goal as opposed to me versus somebody else. And because of this, they are constantly learning through these opportunities, through these competitions that they take part in. And they often use it as a space to push themselves beyond the boundaries that they know, to see if they can get out of their head and physically do something that they didn't think they could do. That is a totally different narrative of the competition mindset, and you can just hear the difference when you hear me speak about it. People with a healthy competition mindset, if I relate it back to my SWOT example, will use the strengths to validate themselves. They'll look at their weaknesses as a space to learn. They'll then look at the opportunities and focus on this area to see where they can grow. And they'll have awareness of the threat so that they don't let them get in their way. That's the healthy way to use this SWOT within your personal life, within competition, to actually create the best outcome for yourself and for your growth. And now we're going to talk about unhealthy collaboration. Much like the unhealthy competition mindset, this shows itself in multiple different ways, and I'm going to be focusing on 3 different characters that you will see within unhealthy collaboration. Number 1 is the people pleaser. Now, the people pleaser within collaboration is often the kind of person that cannot say no. Even if the person that they're working with literally does not align with their values. It doesn't align with their faith or the things that they like. They're so used to being a people pleaser that they cannot say no, and they don't have boundaries, so they just end up working with people that they don't even really like. Number 2 is the pusher. The pusher strongly believes that everything that they're doing is the only way that it can be done. In their heads, they think that they're collaborating when actually they're just forcing other people to see their own point of view. So this kind of unhealthy collaboration can actually be quite damaging because they're just going to force people away from them who are not going to then want to collaborate with them. Because the whole point of collaborating is actually seeing everyone's perspectives and working together, not just taking on your perspective as the only perspective. Number 3 is the show-off. The show-off collaborates with people not because they like them or align with them, but because they feel the need to show that they've proven themselves in some way, show that they've achieved something. And it tends to be that they just want to show other people that they're doing well, even if it doesn't make them feel good within themselves. The show-off is just another version of seeking validation externally. And the reason that they collaborate with these people is to feel like they've had an achievement in their life. Now we have healthy collaboration. And the first one of this is the aligned. The aligned person does just that. They only work with the people that align with themselves and align with their higher mission. Whatever goal that is driving them, if the person that they're working with is going to help that collective goal, they will want to work with this kind of person. Secondly, we have the inspired. The inspired character will always learn something from the situation or the collaboration. So they never really look at anything as negative. They look at it as an opportunity to be inspired and then to inspire others. Whoever they're inspired by as well will always be someone that it could be somebody that could be looked at as their competition, but they don't view it that way because they're so inspired by them that they find that this is the perfect way to collaborate. By being inspired by them, they can create all of these beautiful things down the line. The third one is the worthy. The one that feels like they are enough to work with whoever it is that they want to work with or collaborate with them in any which way that they want to. Even though they might have moments where they have doubts or worries, they still innately know, I am enough to work with these kinds of people. This is the space that I belong in. What we need is a combination of the healthy competition and the healthy collaboration mindset. We need to make sure that we're self-full, rolling with integrity, that self-growth is the goal, that we are aligned, inspired, and we know that we're worthy. This week you have 3 homeworks. Number 1, go and do a SWOT analysis on a situation in which you have felt yourself within an unhealthy version of the competition or collaboration mindset. Start seeing the areas in which you can grow. Secondly, I want you to write a list of people or things that have inspired you, what you have learned from them, and how you can use them to then inspire others, because that is a chain that we want to continue. Number 3, go out this week and be so focused on you and your goal that even when you turn to other people, you only look at them as inspiration to fuel yourself to get even closer to your goal. Remember to tune in next week, because I will be doing an empowered mindset meditation, combining the best of the 2 of these to make it even easier for you and implant the idea into your subconscious mind. If you found this content helpful, don't forget to click that subscribe button, like and comment down below for new videos every week. Remember, we're in this together, we've got this, and I love you.